Hey guys, all right. So we're back to another trading session. Uh, Switched it up a little bit, trying something different. The I had done a previous setup uh, before, seeing that well we did we had points of resistance and the candlesticks were going to uh, hit this point of resistance that we can see right here, and then the candlesticks you would have a bearish situation developing. I think I called that a little bit too early. Alright, so what I've done is trying something a little bit new. So remember guys, we're trying to figure this out together. Trying something new. Alright, so what we have done, we're using the alligator indicator. Saw it on a YouTube channel, so we're gonna try it. Alright, pretty much nothing has been adjusted. We just pretty much we just put it on the chart and that's it. We didn't adjust anything to it, so we're just using the stock alligator indicator as it comes. What we're doing, we're saying, all right, listen, we're watching the green line. Once the green line cuts the red line, anywhere it cuts, that's where we're pretty much going to trade. It's also a trend indicator. So I'm pairing the alligator along with my ADX system right here, right? Those are the main things that I'm looking at. So both of them are telling me when the possibility of a trend is pretty strong. So we're looking, you can use the alligators get in and get out as well, right? So if the candlestick, so right here, we would have started the trading more likely like right here, right? So we see it started here, but even if it started here, your stop would have to be above here, right? We see it test the red line, and then we had a bearish situation continuing, right? The ADX indicator confirmed that it's also a strong trend system going in. All right, so excuse me. So you basically continue, you'd get out right here. All right. Possibly you could use the ADX right here. It's telling that you're going to have a reversal, and that would be the optimum point to get out, or you'd get out right here as well. That'll be pretty late, right? But it's the same thing. If you look at it, when it crosses the red line, it's basically saying the same thing as the alligator indicator, right? So we're trying something different, because the key thing is you want to get rid of falls, get rid of any noise in the market, right? All right, so our analysis is possibly the same. So if you can have a breakout here, you can have a breakout here, right? If there's no breakout, more than likely we're gonna have a bearish situation, and it's coming back down. When is it that you're gonna have the bearish situation? So that's the important thing, right? You don't, just like what I did yesterday, you don't want to move before, because that means you're losing money. All right. So Again, generally speaking, before you start, what you would do, you take a look at, you need to look at the situation, understand what is happening. You just take a look at monthly to see what is happening. You realize that it's bearish, but it's very choppy, and it's very gentle, extremely gentle and choppy, right? So it means that you have to be on point with your trading for this year. We look at, come down to daily, and pretty much what daily means is that yeah, so yeah, that's look at it. That yeah. So pretty much that's it. All right. So daily, we have this situation that we had looked at. It's range bound in a channel currently. Again, it can break out down, can break out over the top, right? When we go, for me, at this point, I think scalping is what I can handle right now based on the money that I hope to enter in. I hope to start with like $1,000. So that's, the 5-minute chart is what I'm going to work in terms of actual trading. When you get in, when you get out. Okay? But again, you have to look on the bigger charts to understand what is happening. Alright? Because really and truly, you don't want to get out too early. If there's a possibility for you to make money. For example, when you look at the 1 hour chart, saw that there was the candlesticks are very compressed, so you know that there's going to be a breakout, right? Same thing as here. Once it's tightly packed together, you know there's a breakout. When you check the MACD line and it's running along here, you know that there's going to be a breakout, right? It's just for you to wait for the breakout, and then you get in the breakout. And so you would enter typically once the green line crosses the red line. Right? So it crosses the red line and it's going up, you would enter. Right? And you will hold. Alright? Alright. Again, so we are back to 5 minutes. We notice that the green line in this case, it crossed the red line, crossed the blue line as well. And so that's telling you that there's a high possibility or high probability that we are entering a downward trend. Same thing with the ADX indicator. Green line is high, so it's telling you that this is a true trend. Alright? So you're going to be holding. Alright? Notice for the MACD line, it's up, it's coming down, way up. So possibly, as I say, what we're looking at, this is the resistance line that we drew. Alright, so it's just reached point of resistance and it's coming back down as we suspect. Alright, so again, for me, I'm trading as if I have $1,000. Alright, typically, really and truly, you should use let me do that. You should have your stop loss in. Generally speaking, you don't want a situation where you're in a positive trade and then it enters into a negative trade. So you really should have your stop loss there, at least brought up to protect. You're basically protecting yourself from yourself, right? Sometimes things happen, we don't know what is happening. All right, so let me just put in my stop loss. All right. so I'm just going to put in my stop loss here. And we're going to just bring it down here. Alright. I'm going to bring it down here. I mean, you have to be careful with your stop loss, because we have seen it like you know, when you put your stop loss too tight, stops you out too early, right? You know, so you have to be careful with your stop loss, but it's really to protect yourself and your money, because I mean, anything can happen. News, we don't know what is happening, right? But again, we're trying something different. We're now using the Alligator in conjunction with the ADX. So those are basically two major indicators, and both of those indicators as set up tend to be geared towards trends. All right. So if a trend is happening, you know, then those are the indicators that you want to look at. All right. So that's what we're using today. So we're trying something different, seeing if it works. We're pretty much trying to say, listen, we're trying to get, if we can, I think at this point in time, I'm looking at saying, all right, minimum for the day, 200 pips. All right, so if I can make 200 pips for the day as a starter, I'm fine. So it means that by the end of the week, then I should have 1,000 pips. All right. So if I make right, and based on my setup here, I'm running it for every pip, I make $2. All right. So for every pip, I make $2. So if I make 100 pips, then it's $200. If I make 200 pips, then that's $400. Alright? So I'm looking for 200 pips per day. And that is the aim going forward. Right? So we're going to see if it's something achievable. 200 pips per day. Minimum, I believe, though, we should have at least 100 pips per day. Alright? So 200 pips per day, anything over that is great, but minimum, I believe, 100 is the minimum. Alright? So again, we're now using the Alligator. Alright? And this is the belly of the Alligator. So the key thing for the Alligator is the green line. Once the green line crosses the red line, either direction, pretty much that's when you're going to trade, right? Once it crosses the blue line as well, that is further confirmation that the trade is good. Again, just for confidence, we check our ADX. Once the green line in the ADX is up, and there's enough space between the red and the blue, we know that we really are in a strong trend. All right. So what we're looking at, as we said before, we're looking at high possibility now that the candlesticks, a bearish situation, and the candlesticks is going to be coming down here. We have to note that again, you should always be aware of what's happening in the Forex calendar, right? And we know that we had the couple of things happening this week. Previously, we had where we know we are at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Alright, so what we're looking for, you have the FOMC at 1400 hours. Alright, so that's coming up. So you might have a little noise in the market. Could be a good trading opportunity. You have to watch and see. So that would be 2 p.m. Coming down to Thursday, we have the initial jobless claims coming out. Again, possibly that's a good trading opportunity. So, meaning that candlesticks will be moving. It's a good time to trade. Again, you have to be careful of those times because at that time the market is moving faster, and you know, things can get crazy, so you have to be careful. All right. But currently, as I said before, we're trying something new, right? Right, we're trying something new, and we're gonna see how it works out, right? So we're looking at something that we can consistently use to get trades, to get the pips, because that's basically the key thing. Right? We're looking at something that we can consistently use to get the pips. Alright, so hey, I'll update you a little bit later today and see what's happening.